Hi everyone, Flaming Footy here and welcome back to another YouTube video on the channel. And today guys, we are going to be continuing our 3-game match reviews. Yes, here we are for the final 3 games of round 11 of the 2022 AFL season. Can you believe that we are just about, we're hitting the midway point of the home and away season at the middle of this week. It's unbelievable how quickly this time has gone from the year. We've learned so much about these teams over the course of the season, and again today we've learned about all these 6 teams right here, and of course we're going to be reviewing their games. St Kilda vs North Melbourne at Marvel Stadium was the first game on the Sunday, followed by Collingwood vs Carlton and at the MCG, and then Port Adelaide vs Essendon ended off the round. So let's not waste too much time. We'll go ahead, get right into things, starting off with St Kilda versus North Melbourne at Marvel Stadium. So St Kilda's surge for the top 4 continues after today's game. They win 16-7, 103. They smash North Melbourne 7-8, 50. And they win by 53. And North Melbourne just are not in a great place. And they are worse with West Coast. And to be completely honest, I don't know which team is worse. It is hard to tell, which is quite sad, to be completely honest, for both them 2 teams. It's hard to tell which team is worse because, well, they're both very bad, to be completely honest. So, of course, going through rebuilds, both West Coast and North Melbourne, and some other clubs as well, like Adelaide, etc. So, St Kilda started this game off in, well, good St Kilda fashion. They banged on 5 goals in the first term. Getting a jump away from the Kangaroos later in the term was 32-14 at quarter time, with the Kangaroos still having their nose through the door. The second term didn't necessarily end it, but the Roos were goalless. The Saints kicking just the 1 goal, didn't really capitalise on overly a lot of opportunities, did St Kilda. So that quarter was a bit of a waste. Nothing really happened in that quarter. And then the third quarter, St Kilda just were like, all right, it's time to hit the gas. It's time to turn this game up from an under 30-point lead to pushing it out towards 50. That is exactly what they did. And by the end of the third quarter, you knew it was game over. I mean, you knew it was game over at halftime if North have a goalless second term. But yeah, St Kilda really hit the accelerator in the third quarter to finish strongly in the final term as well and come home convincing winners. Hill, 33 disposals, 3 goals for Max King. He does it week in, week out. 149 fantasy for Jed Anderson, as well as himself laying the 12 tackles. So let's go to AFL Fantasy. 149 for Anderson, 133 for Sinclair, 127 for Hill, 119 for Gresham, 111 for Ross, 108 for Goldstein, 102 for McDonald, 99 for Simpkin, 98 for Jones, 97 for Crouch. And Machedo Owens also... Machedo Owens, getting 95 goals behind now. Let's see. 3 goals for King. He, well, was the leading scorer at Marvel Stadium. 2 for Gresham, Owens, Membry, and Goldstein. Then Zerha having a not-so-great day with the 1 goal 3. Now, where's Larky on this list if he was playing? He got the 0 goal 1. So they managed to keep him really quiet, which from a St Kilda point of view is massive if you keep Larky quiet. Because he is definitely North Melbourne's best forward, or one of their best. 33 disposed for Hill, 32 for Sinclair, 30 for Gresham. Those were the above 30. 29 for Simpkin, 28 for Ross, and Anderson, 26 for McDonald. Those were the players that got above 25. Now marks, 12 for Wilkie, 10 for Sinclair, 9 for Nasai Wanganeen, Miller, Ben Patton, Bradley Hill, and Aiden Core. Now they're to the tackles. 12 for Anderson, 10 for Owens, Jones, and Zeeble. 9 for Crouch. And to the hit-outs, 30 for Goldie, 27 for Ryder, 21 for Marshall. A demolishing ruck duo are them two. And 17 for Tristan Zeri, getting also a fair few of hit-outs as well. Now, inside 50, St Kilda easily went inside 50 way more times than North. We all saw that one coming anyway. And... what else is here? Is there anything else interesting? Clearances actually went in favour of North Melbourne. Like, clearances, centre and stoppage clearances all went in favour of North Melbourne. But turnovers was also in favour of North Melbourne as well. Now, nothing else looking that great. St Kilda led the whole game and had no problems at all. And let's see, is there anything else here? St Kilda had 16 bounces compared to North Melbourne's 4, willing to take the game on a little bit more. But St Kilda 53-point winners have put themselves into the top 4. And the next game was another massive one as well. But St Kilda, big winners, and they would be loving this one. Now to the MCG we go for good old rivals Collingwood and Carlton going head to head. Collingwood 11-13, 79. Get over Carlton 11-9, 75. So 79-75. This one was as close as you could get. And good old rivals meet again. And this one was more of a Collingwood sort of game than Carlton. Carlton, of course, being in the top 4, but you still got a good game. And Collingwood, this does push their finals. Can they make finals? Most certainly. The door is open, and this win, 2 very solid wins in a row against Fremantle and Carlton, that is really door opening for the finals. They could make finals. Yes, inaccuracy was a little bit of a problem in this one for them. But other than that, I think they were pretty good. The first quarter was alright for both teams, Collingwood just having a little bit of an edge. Second term was, well, Carlton really found their way back into the game after Collingwood had a strong start, but it was all Carlton towards the end of the term. Third quarter was all Collingwood. That's where Collingwood wrangled it back. They kept Carlton goalless, and that was critical. So they really brought the game back into their favour. The final term, they got it out. Carlton had chances. You can see they're that little behind. They had a chance to win the game late. It just missed. It was so close to actually going through. So the Pies hold on. Very lucky for them. 35 disposal for Sam Walsh. 4 goals for Charlie Curnow. 120 fantasy for Sam Walsh. 7 tackles for George Hewitt. This one was fantastic though. It went right down to the wire. Good old rivals, and Collingwood just proving to be the better side in this game. 120 fantasy for Walsh, 119 for Chera, 116 for Hewitt, 114 for Doherty, 102 for Crisp, 97 for Noble, 96 for Dacos, 94 for Cameron, 91 for Sidebottom and Degoe, 89 for Cripps, 83 for Saad. Now we'll go to goals and behinds. 4 goals for Charlie Curnow. He was on fire, as he, well, has been this year. 3 goals for Henry. He came in. He was good as well. 2 goals, 1 for Sidebottom. Lipinski, is also getting in with the 2 goals. 35 disposals for Walsh, 31 for Hewitt and Doherty. He's been getting a lot of the ball this year, Sam Doherty as well. 30 for Chera, 27 for Crisp, and Saar, 25 for Paddy Cripps, and 24 for Jordan DeGoey. Now to the marks. 10 for Dacos, Josh Dacos, that one being 9 for Noble, 8 for Sidebottom and Silvani, 7 for Nathan Murphy from Collingwood. Tackles, 7 for Adams and Hewitt, and now we'll go to the hitouts. 26 for Cameron, 16 for DeConing, 11 for Cox, and 3 for Silvani. This game, though, was such an exciting game. And yeah, Collingwood just proving to be the better side. It was such a tight contest the whole time through, and Carlton never gave up, nor did Collingwood. And no matter which team led, they led it by not too much. We'll go and actually see the biggest margin per team. We'll have a little check of that. Collingwood did lead for most of the game. Collingwood's biggest lead was 23 points, showing that it never really got too far out of hand for Carlton to restrain, as Carlton were trailing most of the game. What they were pretty much doing, Carlton, was they were trying to kick goals to get back into it, and really put the foot down on those leads. They didn't really lead for too much, but they were never out of this game. Were Carlton, but Collingwood just do prove to be the better team, as the 2 good, very fiercest rivals in the AFL face off, with Collingwood just proving to be better by 4 points, which is exactly what you like to see when 2 very good rivals go head to head. Collingwood just proving better 4 points, and this does really have a big say on where their season can go from here. And now to the final game of the round, where Port Adelaide 9-12-66 get over the Bombers. Late third quarter charge, 6-14-50. Now, I think that made this game very different from where Port Adelaide could have won. It was because it was wet. It was wet in the end. Of course, South Australia is being hit by rain and everything like that. That made this game quite hard to play, especially after half-time. So, pretty much the winner at half-time would have more confidence going into the second half of the game. And that team was Port Adelaide, with the Bombers 0-6 in the first term. That penultimately cost them the game, I would say. I reckon if their accuracy had been better, they would have won. and that would have been a massive upset at Adelaide Oval if they would have pulled that one off. Port Adelaide, 4 goals to in the first term. They really set things up. Dixon on his return was fantastic. Second term, all Port Adelaide again. Essendon had no answers. Third term, they came back, they made a game of it, and final term, both teams goalless. No goal kicked in the final term. And look at all that straight towards the end of the game. Nothing happened in like the last 10 minutes with Port Adelaide proving to be the better side. This was nowhere near convincing. This was nowhere near the win that anyone thought they would have. Everyone thought they would tread over the Bombers, just like most teams do. But no, this one was very different. Wet weather footy is not Port Adelaide's style, and it is Essendon. So we've learnt a few teams wet weather footy. Wet weather footy doesn't suit Freo. Doesn't suit Port Adelaide. In fact, it'd be funny to see wet weather when them two would go head to head if it was in wet weather. I think that'd be a perfect match. That'd be really funny to watch. And for Essendon, this is actually not a bad result. Now, obviously, they would have loved to have won the game, and inaccuracy did cost them in the end. But showing they can play wet weather footy in that third quarter charge was exactly what they needed to almost set themselves up for success. So the Bombers, a mini win out of a loss. Darcy Parish, 39 disposals, 2 goals for Charlie Dixon. Can you believe that? 2 goals is the highest scoring goal kicker. And he was the only player to do so. 119 fantasy for Darcy Parish, 8 tackles for Jai Caldwell. Now we'll go to AFL fantasy. 119 for Parish, 113 for Rosie, 113 for Martin, 100 for Merritt, 91 for Houston, 89 for Hind, 88 for Butters and Boak, and then 86 for Wines, 84 for Heppel, 83 for Durham, McGrath, and then 82 for Perkins. So now we're going to go to goals behinds. Only 2 goals for Charlie Dixon. Power Pepper had a rough day in front of the sticks with 1 goal for. And everybody else, as I'm scrolling down, got a goal. It was very scrappy towards the end of the game, but Essendon had it suited more to their styles. 39 disposals for Darcy Parish, 29 for Wines, 26 for Hind, 26 for Merritt, 25 for Amon and Martin, 24 for Rosie, Butters, Boak and Heppel. Now to marks, we go 12 for Nick Martin, 8 for Todd Marshall, 7 for Houston and Durham, 8 tackles for Jai Caldwell, 7 for Rosie, Boak, Merritt. Hitouts, 21 for Hayes and Phillips, 16 for Draper, 4 for Dixon, 2 for Finlayson, 2 for Power Pepper, 1 for Wright. So that is how it went. It was a very close game at the Adelaide Oval. However, Port Adelaide were just a better team, winning by 16 points. Now, team stats we go. Nothing looking appealing as of just yet. Wow, centre clearances, 4 for Port Adelaide, 14 for the Bombers. That is crazy. That is crazy stuff there. And the Bombers did win their hitouts as well. Let's see. Is there anything else here that's looking interesting? Not really. The Power led for the whole game, but the Bombers always gave up a good fight from half-time onwards. They were there in the second half, but just not enough. Not enough late in the game. They couldn't manufacture enough of a comeback to win. Port Adelaide were the better side and the more deserving side in this contest after their good start. Probably should have won by more, should have Port Adelaide. But anyway, they were the better team, winning by 16 points. So we're going to have a look at what this round offered. Sydney 106 got over Richmond 100 in an absolute thriller. Brisbane at 110 got over GWS 96 in another thriller. Geelong 97 got over Adelaide 55. Melbourne 56 lost to the Dockers 94, where the Dockers made a turnaround from 31 points down to win by 38. The Dogs 161 smashed the Eagles 60. The Suns 121 smashed the Hawks 54. The Saints 103 smashed the Roos 50. Collingwood 79 got over Carlton 75 in an absolute tie tussle at the MCG, giving that game of the round. And then Port Adelaide 66 got over the Bombers 50 after their late charge round 12. Bulldogs, Cats starts things off on the Friday night at Marvel. Then we head to the Adelaide Oval for the Adelaide Crows versus the West Coast Eagles. The Suns and the Roos will then square off in Saturday twilight footy at TIO in Darwin. Melbourne clash with Sydney at the MCG Saturday night footy for Hawthorn. Collingwood play at the MCG Sunday. And then finish the round off in Perth, third versus second. Absolute blockbuster, the Dockers and the Lions. So, ladder. Every team has tasted defeat and victory now, with Melbourne losing their first game to the Dockers, and of course, the Roos and the Eagles have both won. This is massive now. I think the live ladder should be activated. I don't think I need to change it. No, I don't. So it's all done already. So this is massive now. The top 4, well, Freo, St Kilda, Carlton all equal on points, 3rd down to 5th. So that's very interesting. And the top 8 race is also heating up. So that is going to wrap up today's video. What a round of footy it was. It was fantastic. So we learned a lot. Round 12 next week starts off the buys. Mid-season draft also coming up very soon. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Then you guys will never miss another video on the channel. Thank you guys all so much for watching. So bye everyone. Flaming Footy out.